our coverage of all of our oh. Hey YouTube, welcome back to SIBZ, West Coast, East Coast siblings, where we cover your favorite movies and TV shows. And tonight, we are covering You Season 3, Episode 1. So, if you're new to the channel, like this video if you like this video, comment, subscribe, and click the bell so you can be notified of all of our other coverage of movies and TV. So, I'm going to break down what happens in this episode, and then I'm going to give you a quick review. And then I'll probably give you a more in-depth review after I watch the whole season. So, I've only watched Episode 1 as of right now, you guys. We're going to have a new episode coverage every single day for the next 10 days. So, here we go. You Season 3 picks up right where we left off with Joe and Love moving to Madre Linda, which is like this affluent, rather fancy and boring suburb right outside of San Francisco. Gosh, nonsense ensues right in the first episode. Basically, the first issue is that Love has lied to Joe. I think intentionally, but maybe not intentionally. They think that the baby is a girl, however they get surprised and the baby is a boy, and that sort of just kicks off Joe's spiral into insanity because he's like, oh no, this is just a sign that I'm not going to get anything right. He is desperate. Really, he wants to be a good father, but to be a good father, he's got to be a good husband. So, you know, that's where that's going. Joe is resentful of Love and this entire situation, this nightmare suburb from the jump. I mean, his resentment is palpable. Like within the first 30 seconds, we know that he does not want to be there. He says in this episode that he doesn't let himself think too much about who Love is because obviously Love is a murderer, and that is not Joe's type, as I said in my video about the recap of season 2. He fell in love with a version of her, but it wasn't truly her, and now he's having to deal with the real her, who is kind of passive aggressive and really like a little off. Makes him a little uncomfortable, but he still loves her. He still wants to try. And in my mind, I'm just like, this is not sustainable. I mean, we know it's good TV because you can tell from the beginning that it's all gonna crash and burn. They also named their son Henry Forty Quinn Goldberg, which is like, whew, what a name. And obviously Love names him 40 after her brother who passed away, and Joe is not happy about that. Obviously, they're always calling the baby 40. Joe is the only person who calls the baby by his name, Henry. I mean, Joe has a lot of problems in this episode, but first one being that he doesn't bond with the baby. Every time he touches the baby, it cries, blah, 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 blah. Now, in my mind, I'm like, is that not your baby? We also have Love, whose mother is all up and in and throughout this episode. She only lives 30 minutes away from them, and she's always around as an extra pair of hands for the baby, but she's also not processing 40's death, and neither has Love. So that is causing some tension for Love. Love is also having tension, just post-baby feels, you know, am I attractive? Am I raising my child right? All these other women are comparing me, like, you know, just regular, not that I would know, but regular mom insecurities, I would suppose. Next, we have their neighbor, who's like this creepy kind of sexy lady across the street, a Mrs. Robinson, if you will. Her name is Natalie. She's married to this big tech guy who's never home, and she's coming up pretty strong to Joe. Honestly, to me, I think she's a plant. I'm like, homegirl, this ain't normal. You inviting your neighbor's husband over for wine, and then you flirting with him, and then you coming on to him. Like, girl, what you doing? It's a little too much. And Joe, of course, is like, really? Are you my next you? And so, you know, he takes the bait. They flirt, they have a little wine, they have a little spicy smooch, and then Joe is like, nah, I want to be a good husband for my woman. So then he goes home and he sleeps with Love, and of course Love is feeling all like, oh, I'm attractive again, oh, he wants me. Then we meet Sherry, the obnoxious, peach-like mommy blogger neighbor friend who lives in the neighborhood. She's a nightmare, and I already can't stand her, so she's doing a good job. She's the queen bee of the town, and she has little minions. Sherry and her husband, Carrie, basically she throws a big neighborhood party. All the neighbors come, and they get to know each other, and Love meets Natalie, and they have a great conversation, and Natalie mentions that there's a bakery place open, and that Love should open a bakery if she's interested. Love starts feeling encouraged, and like, maybe she can fit in here. Then Natalie starts dropping a little what on Joe. Love starts feeling like, wait, is you creeping on my man? Is you trying to step in? Like, what is you doing? And Love confronts Joe and is like, what the heck? Are you sleeping with her? They have a great little fight. It's great. But basically, Love says, I wanted to move here to Madre Linda for a fresh start so we don't have to do any more bad things. Don't you love how they say bad things, not like murdering people? They have their little confrontation. They're friends again. You know, they feel fine. Fine enough. Then the next day, Joe finally has a nice bonding moment with the baby in the library. Then Love finds his creeper box. The creeper box with like Natalie's drawers and like a used tampon. Like, Joe's a freaking creep. And Love decides to go check out this bakery space that Natalie has suggested that she check out. And Love's like, well, let me see the basement. So they go downstairs and they look in the freezer, and Love's real self comes out, and she kills Natalie. Whoa, episode 1, we got a murder. She calls Joe and is like, hey, I think we need couples therapy. I'm like, homegirl, I think y'all need separate therapy first. Anyway, you guys, so that was the first episode, right? Honestly, I feel like this is one of those shows where you're just on the roller coaster going up and you're just waiting for the drop. With Love murdering someone in the first episode, we've already hit a big, like, doom. Homegirl's a freaking nut. And what's crazy is she tells Joe that everything's fine. Love finds the box, and that's what sets her off. But I wanted to point out in this episode, it's clear that we're not seeing things in sequential order, because the way we saw it was Love and Natalie become friends. Love confronts Joe about the situation. Then Love agrees to go to the bakery. Then we go back and we realize that Love finds the creeper box and then goes to the bakery. So we're seeing things out of order, which is going to be very, very important for later on. But I think this episode was great. What I loved about season 2 is that it was just so spot on with like the portrayal of LA, I think, especially from an East Coaster's point of view. I think I've said that in one of my reviews, but it's just so accurate. And I feel like this is also an accurate representation of like wealthy suburban life in the 21st century, where you have mommy influencers and daddies who have like 6-packs on Instagram. It's shaping up to be a really good season, you guys. I'm super excited. Let me know in the comments what you think. Ask me questions. Throw me your theories. I thought Natalie was a plant for the FBI, but like clearly not. But I still think Natalie was coming on to Joe way too strong to just be like a casual person. But I don't know, maybe they're just crazy out there in the burbs. Like this video if you like this video. Comment, subscribe, and click the bell so you can be notified when I drop the episode 2 coverage. Alright, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in like 12 hours.